Coach Garvey, we'll get started with you and then move on to Eric. In 2014, your program posted the most wins since 2001 and played in a postseason contest for the first time since 1980. How have those experiences prepared your team for the upcoming 2015 season?
Well, I think it's definitely, moved us, like everyone says here, you had a great spring. I think it moved us into the spring with a little bit more of, for lack of a better word, purpose. It was great for our program. It's great for our players who, through all their hard work deserve those accomplishments. So, I think it's going to just help us move forward and provide that confidence for our, one of the larger senior classes that we've had in the last couple of years here, to push us forward and to continue to compete for a PAC title.
What advantages does it bring to your program to have nationally recognized players like American Football Coaches Association All-American Nadim Radar and All-Region performer Eric Blinn returning on each side of the ball for you?
Well, obviously, besides having two great guys to make plays for you and to help you be right a lot of the times when you're really wrong, it's just it's probably the first time in my tenure here now at Bethany that we've had two nationally recognized players on either side of the ball. So I think it's it's not just defensive guys looking at offensive guy or offensive guy looking at a defensive guy from the other side of the ball. So I think they can turn and look at each other on each side of the ball and be able to look at someone for their leadership qualities. And those two guys are, by far two of the hardest workers we have on our team and do all the things that you're supposed to do in the off season as well as being great players and doing what you're supposed to do in the classroom as well. So, I think it's just a fantastic approach for our players and leadership qualities that we haven't had, honestly, in my tenure there the last going on now 11 years.
With 9 starters returning to a defense that saw a rejuvenation in 2014, what can we expect from the Bison D this season?
I think hopefully the same thing, except better. Obviously, because we're returning a whole bunch of people. We had to replace our defense coordinator who left, took another job. But I think what you'll see, and I think if you came and watch us practice, what you see, and I think Eric can say it, is you're going to see guys who just love to play football. I mean, they are one group that honestly gets kind of aggravating being an offensive guy on the outside of the ball. They don't shut up one bit. I mean, they keep talking and they have a lot of fun and they enjoy the process. So I think you'll, if you come and watch us play on Saturdays or come watch us practice, those guys are getting after it and really, really enjoy the process of football. And hopefully, obviously, with all these returners that we just improved from a year ago, we felt was a pretty good defense.
Despite having a new signal caller under center, what sort of advantages does it bring to have 4 starters and 6 total letter winners returning to your offensive line?
I think it's going to make it easier for that new person, whoever that person is going to be this year. We're very fortunate to really basically have 5 returning starters. I mean, we lost our center in camp last year, and he's going to be back from a knee injury, Jim Norcus. And, we got a second-year starting right tackle who's had a tremendous offseason, looks great in Ethan Barnes, and we return our all-conference left tackle. And we got Alex Vargas and Tim Walters, 2 local guys who have played a lot of football for us. So, from a standpoint of, helping that new person in that position, I think is going to be great. And obviously, the guy sitting next to me is going to help out that person. But, I think he'll tell you that it all is going to start with those guys. That's where this game begins, is being able to block people and move people. And, I wouldn't trade him for the world, but I might for 5 All-American offensive linemen. But, we're very, very pleased with the group and excited to get them back on campus and get going for this year.
Coach Garvey, thank you. Eric, a couple questions for you. With a total of 23 seniors returning in 2015, what sort of impact do you see that having on the program as a whole?
It'll definitely be leadership and experience. We were talking about it a lot in spring, about knowing the significance of each game. When we played W&J last year, we both sat undefeated in the conference. And in my eyes, we played for the conference championship. We had an opportunity, and it's our job. It's going to be our job as seniors to let the underclassmen know how important each game will be.
Now, I think you know that I'm a Bethany grad, and I've seen some pretty good Bethany wide receivers come through, having already posted one of the most prolific careers as a wide receiver at Bethany and in the PAC. I'm interested to hear what's on your agenda for 2015.
The same thing that's been on my agenda since my freshman year, and that's to win a PAC title. Stats are stats. I mean, if you're not winning games, I just want to do everything I can to help our team win games.
We watched Bethany move to an up-tempo offense last season. What advantages did you see from that, and how do you see it improving in year 2?
The up-tempo offense can be very effective. It can also be your worst enemy. I think, we've seen it a lot of times, when it does work well, when you're constantly moving the ball up and down the field, it keeps, the opposing defense on their toes, keeps them tired. But when you're going 3 and out and you're not flipping field position, you're bringing a tired defense back up onto the field. So we've seen it work both ways last year. So we're excited. We picked up the tempo in spring, and we're excited to see what's in store for the 2015.